Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of trend lines. This is standard 8.5D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 8 of the 2025 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we've got a scatter plot here showing the relationship between the amount of money a small business spends on advertising. So that's going to be our X or our independent variable, and then on the amount of money they receive in revenue. So that's going to be our Y, our dependent variable. And we're looking for a prediction here. If we scroll down, what happens if they spend $1,000 on advertising? What do we think is going to happen? I'm going to change this grid size to small so we can kind of see what it's going to be like right there. All right, and so what we want to do here is we want to draw a trend line to kind of estimate where we think some of these values are going to land. And I'm going to leave this on just a little bit so we can kind of see the grid lines behind it. Let's go ahead and add some points. All right, because we've got four different numbers that we can choose from: 15,000, 11,000, 13, and then down at the very bottom is that 8,000. And we're looking at 1,000 as our X value. So we're looking at this line right here. Let's go ahead and add. So 15,000 is going to be right on that dot right there. It might be a tad high. 11,000. Well, 11,000, it's going to be between 10,500 and 12,000, but it's actually closer to the 10,500. I'm going to put it just above the 10,500. I'll put it right there. Now we've got 13,000. Same thing, it's between the 12,000 and the 13,500, but it's just below the 13,500. It's only 500 away from that, so it's closer to the 13,500 than the 12,000. So I will add that right below the 13,500, and then 8,000 down here, and it's between the 7,500 and 9,000, but it's closer to the 7,500. So I'll put it right there. And before we even draw our trend line, we can look, there are some of these choices that make sense, and there are some that don't make any sense. All right, so this 8,000 is definitely too low. And quite honestly, this 15,000 seems way too high. That would kind of fall outside of that range. So it does look like, honestly, just looking at that straight line, it definitely looks like this 13,000 is going to be the best because even this 11,000 looks a bit low. So visually, we can see that there does seem to be a relationship between the amount of money spent on advertising and the amount of revenue received. And it looks like it is almost a linear relationship. So we're going to draw a trend line. So what we're going to do, let's change this to blue here. We are going to try to draw a line. I'll start right around here. And our goal is to get about half of the dots above and half the dots below. Some of these dots might be right on the line. But I'm looking at what I've got right here. And before I let go, I'm going to try to count. I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above. All right, that's perfect. Because watch. If you look at how many are below, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 below. And then above, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above. And that's really what you're looking for with the trend line, about the same amount above and below, and try to get it right in the middle of them. Now, I didn't quite start at the origin. That's because these grid lines don't line up. And so if I were to shift this down just a little bit, this might shift up a little bit. But as you can see, we are definitely closest to this 13,000. We're right below it, much closer to that than we are the 11,000. And so that is going to be our best answer here. Using the trend line, we've identified that $13,000 is about how much you would receive if you spent $1,000 on advertising.